Okay, thanks, Lynn. So happy to have my friend Lynn today with me on lunch date with Violet. It's a great way, I think, really to catch up with all my friends during this circuit breaker period. And
Yes, I agree.
Lynn, maybe you can just start off by giving a brief introduction of yourself, because I'm sure we'll have a lot of our friends who will be watching this, but at the same time, I know that there will be people who might not have met you personally as well.
Okay, so I'm Lynn Tan. I'm 40 years old. I'm a mother of three kids. Reina, who's 15. My second daughter is Kayla. She's 11 this year. They're both from my previous marriage. And I have Julian, who's 4 years old.
Wow.
My son with my second husband, Jody.
Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of business-wise, you want me to give a quick introduction?
Yeah. To give a brief introduction about your business, yes.
Okay, so I started my business in 2003. I'm the exclusive distributor for Phyto, a 50-year-old botanical hair care brand from France. And in 2017, the brand, the company Phyto actually bought over myself and my whole team together. And we started the Singapore subsidiary. And I'm currently now their managing director.
Wow, very nice. I think that's like maybe many entrepreneur dreams to be bought out by like the principal. Okay. I think like you have been in business for a long time. Like when you say that you started in 2003, right? I was thinking like, wow, we started almost at the same time. So like that was just a year before we started, and I'm sure that in that period of time, right? Like it's not easy. Like actually, I definitely as your friend, I've heard your story as well, and I've also read like different articles, like that you have been on, and also like radio shows and things like that. So maybe you can share with our friends today, like how did you get started in the business? Like what made you decide to go into like the beauty business?
Okay, so I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I became inspired to do this brand because I fell in love with Phyto about 20 years ago. And when I first used Phyto then, it came in a glass bottle. The shampoos were in glass bottle and it looked like a herbal brew that my grandmother would cook for me, like a botong. And it smelled like plants. So it's not
Yes.
like one of those typical shampoos or shower gels you get in the market. Even to today, it sounds very sweet and like a sweet perfumey fragrant. So I
Yes.
found it very unique. I
Yes.
tried it anyway.
Yeah.
And for the first time, it cured my dandruff problem, which I've
Oh,
been
wow.
suffering for like 10 years as a teenager.
Yes.
And as a woman, every month we get our period and I get dandruff.
Yes.
So 2 weeks of my life I have dandruff and 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
of my life I don't. Every month it was just like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of lived with it because I
Mm-hmm.
knew it's because of my hormones, right?
Yes.
But for the first time when I used Phyto, I don't have to suffer 2 weeks. I just had to suffer maybe a day or two. And then
Wow.
I use the shampoo and
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, what's this product? And no one seems to know what this product is.
Yeah.
It's been around,
Mm-hmm.
but no one knows about the brand.
Yeah.
So I was very fortunate to be able to be selling the brand.
So how old were you then?
I was 23 years old when I started.
Wow.
I'm
So at,
40
at
this year. I'm 40 already now, yeah.
so at 23, right? How did you convince them to let you represent the brand and to bring it into Singapore?
That was interesting. I was working for the company as a marketing manager then to
Mm-hmm.
help doing marketing for the company. And they
Yeah.
were actually selling this brand only to hair salons.
Yes.
And they wanted to stop because they were losing money on this brand. They had many brands, and this was one of the brands they wanted to stop and terminate the distribution
Yes.
contract.
Yeah.
I then took upon myself to speak to the principal. I was managing the marketing for it for a few months, just maybe 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And I was very passionate,
Yeah.
you may say borderline aggressive, very intense with the way I'm asking them for their
Yeah.
stocks and their things. I'm very passionate about it
Yes.
because that's my style. I just
Yeah.
want things to be done well, done fast.
Yes.
And I'm very thankful because the export director then saw it as a gift. He saw
Yes.
it as, if this woman can be so anxious about my brand,
Yes.
she will do a good job with it.
Yes.
Because she's always pushing us to be faster and do it better.
Yes.
And so somehow I'm very lucky. He's like an Enren. He's one of those who actually saw the beauty of my intensity. Because honestly, they don't know who I'm young. They don't know who I am really. We've
Yes.
never really met. It's all correspondence through phone and email.
Yeah.
But when I asked him, hey, this company is going to stop the brand, I really want to take it up. And he said, okay. So we met and I signed a contract in France. My
Wow.
first time
So
traveling so
you
far
flew to
away.
France to, yeah,
Yes.
wow.
I had to to borrow money from my uncle to start the business. He loaned me 50,000 and it included a air ticket to go to France.
Wow.
So that was nice.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. So we started with this one brand. And as the years progressed, we started to take in a lot more exclusive brands from all over the world. And we had at one point even like 12 different brands.
Wow.
A lot of different brands that we were selling. And the company grew. We had 80 people at one point. We had even 5 retail stores of our own. And then we were generating maybe like even above 15 million revenue.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's like 10 years after we started.
Yeah. So I think, you know, like what I've learned from your story so far is definitely perseverance and persistence. Yeah, because I think a lot of times like people would say that, oh, you know, I can't start a business because I'm too young, or maybe because I have no money, you know, but obviously like when you have a very strong passion or like you're very clear about what you want to do, you know, like you solve all of that. So even though like you didn't really have credentials so-called, you know, in the industry, but they saw that you are so persistent. And then, I mean, like, I can totally see where they're coming from. If I'm the principal and like, you know, this person is like, you know, keep bugging me all the time.
Yes, I did.
Like, I mean, what do I have to lose, right? You know, since I'm already thinking of stopping the brand anyway, and she's just so keen, so on. Yeah, and like you say, you know, even though you didn't have the money then, but you found the money, you know, like you borrowed from like your
my
family.
uncle was so kind to loan me 50,000, and my ex-partner then, he sold his car so we can buy a delivery van, and we kind of really did it by ourselves. We were in a tiny little warehouse, and the time was 2003. So if you know, it's the SARS period.
Yes.
So obviously I was cautioned, like, why are you doing this now? It's crazy. You should be selling like, I don't know, face masks or something. Why are you selling shampoo at SARS period? I'm like, no, it's good because my rental is cheap. You know, I can get a better price. It's a good time to get in. I was young, I was energetic. I was telling myself, if touch wood, anything happens, I'll just go back to the workforce. I'll just give it all I could, you know. And that's how we started, really.
So this is also like a parallel, right, to like the situation that we are in right now, which is COVID-19.
Yes.
So in a way, in every crisis, there's also an opportunity, right? Like you have just mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was to sign a lease for 3 years or for 2 years that was cheaper than normal. It was really good savings for me because I have a limited startup budget.
Yeah.
So that was good. I remember we had to.
What are
I
some of
stayed in my warehouse.
You stayed in the warehouse? Wow.
Yeah. Because I was a one-man show, right? We couldn't afford staff. So I was doing marketing, the accounts, invoicing, warehousing, everything lah. Everything we had to do to run the business.
Yep.
I did it. And my partner then, he had a full-time job and he would come in after work and he would help me with a bit of things. But the whole day to the whole night, I had to work.
Yep.
I didn't want to waste time going back and forth home.
Yes.
That took out a lot of time. I worked till like 3, 4 a.m. and then we just slept in a sofa bed. I slept in the sofa bed in the warehouse. And next day you start again. So I could catch like 5 hours of sleep. And people thought that I was working from home. The principal thought, how come you're always talking to me at 3 a.m.? Are you working from home? No, they didn't ask the right question. I was sleeping in my office.
So the other way around, right? So yes, technically working from home, but home has become the warehouse.
Yeah. I moved my dogs then. I didn't have any kids. I was married then. I moved my dogs with me. So you can see me walking my dogs in the middle of the night at the industrial area. Only the guard knew that we were there. But I mean, we were harmless, so we just brought the dogs. You know, every day we was just... Weekends we go home. Weekdays we were just working and sleeping in the warehouse.
Wow, that's amazing. How long did you do that for?
We did that for at least 1.5 years, and then we had to expand because the space wasn't big enough. Our business was growing, and so we had to move to a bigger warehouse unit, like double the space, and then we moved to Pentec. By then, I was pregnant as well with my first child, and therefore I said, okay, we have to also hire 1 or 2 staff to answer phone call, because
Yes.
I have to go on maternity. So we start to have 1 or 2 full-time staff
Mm-hmm.
in the office. So that's how we moved. So I had to break the lease a bit earlier than 2 years. We moved to a bigger place. And that happened again when we had to get a bigger space. So I think when it happened again, I was like, that's it. We're going to use a third party because we can't keep spending money, breaking leases and getting a bigger space. We use a third party. We just pay accordingly to how we expand or deflate.
Yep.
So that got us on that route to use third party as well,
Mm-hmm.
who specializes in logistics.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I think like before this we were chatting and then you were saying like if you are going to like share all the lessons, right, that you have learned from running the business, like we'll probably need many more lunches. I totally
Yeah, I think you're gonna ask me what lessons we've learned. I have so many lessons about managing people, managing myself, how to manage suppliers, how to manage customers, so many lessons which I've learned in the last 17, 18 years just by doing it,
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you were to say like one of the biggest lesson that you have learned or something you think it would be very helpful to share with like entrepreneurs out there or maybe even aspiring entrepreneurs out there, what would it be?
One thing that just came to mind would be I feel like nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. Be it business, how it is right now, and even relationships. I didn't expect that I would sell out to my principal, but things evolved so quickly with the way e-commerce came in and all. It really rattled the whole industry that I knew. So things like that happen, which means nothing is permanent. What the business I had then is not the same now,
Yep.
And just like relationships I have, personal or business, changes. It keeps evolving.
Yes.
I think that's one of the things that we must be prepared for. Yeah.
So how did you prepare for this? Like, do you feel that you were well prepared for it, or did you feel you could have done better? And if you look back, like if you were to maybe do one thing differently, like what would it be?
For business or personal?
Maybe we start with business first.
I think for business, there's nothing much I would change because I knew everything I had to go through, even the painful mistakes I had to go through were all necessary for me to get to where I am. It was definitely key. I couldn't have not, I had to go through all of them. Personally would be more or less the same, but if I were to say something to my 30-year-old self, like 10 years ago, now it's 2020, 2010, I was about 30, just went 30. I would have told 30-year-old Lynn that not to be so hard on herself and to take time out to love and take care of Lynn, which I did not then. Everything then was more important than me. Like the business was in front of me, the kids were in front of me, my ex-husband was in front of me, everything was in front of me except me. I remember at one point it was quite evident when I had my second kid and she's only like turning a year. I was really like so overweight. I was close to 100 kg.
Wow, really?
So you can see that I didn't take care of me.
That was after your second daughter.
Yeah, so it's like 10 years ago, 2010. So you can see it's evident, not like as though I ate non-stop, I was working. It's just that I don't take care of myself. I don't sleep enough. I don't, So I felt like that would be something I would have done differently on a personal level.
So I think, like with that, like, going into the topic that you have very generously, like decide to share today. And I think this is something that obviously is like very close to my heart, like doing what I do. And I also think you have an amazing journey, really in terms of like finding love again. Yeah, so maybe you want to share with us, like because you have shared, like you have 2 kids from your first marriage, and then now you have from your current marriage. So I think our listeners would know that you have go through a divorce. Like, so maybe you just want to share with us, like how was it like at that point? Like how did it feel? Like what were some of the things that you did that maybe you can share with like some people who might be going through this period as well.
So just a bit of background. I started going through my divorce proceedings with my ex-husband then in 10 years ago, 2010.
Yep.
Our daughters were then 5 and 1 only. So it was really an extremely difficult period.
Yep.
Partly because we were business partners together. So we're both shareholders and business partners in the same business.
Yep.
We had 2 young children together. And he was a man that I was with since I was 19. So it's been together quite a long time. So it was a bit difficult, especially when everything looked really good on the surface. Like you seemed to have it all in.
Yep.
Like you had a business that was thriving, you had 2 young kids, beautiful young children, everything looks great.
Yep.
But it's actually not. And I felt like an utter and complete failure. Like I couldn't even keep my husband. It was how I felt then. You know, I felt like you look like a success, but you're actually a total failure. Like you're such a fraud. I felt then. I felt really ugly. And it was further, because of course I told you I was overweight, like about 97, 98 kg, right? Then, and my husband cheated on me repeatedly, and he justified it because I was overweight. That was his reason, his go-to reason, like find a fault in Lynn and then just use this, you know. So, and that really stuck with me for a while because I believed it. Yeah, when he justified that really stuck with me for a while. I think the healing process took years, but it was a process which was necessary for me to, I think where I am today and how I could find love and remarry and everything really took, it wasn't planned as such. It took me having to go through this and realize my own self-worth and to start to find time to heal me and to love Lynn. And that took a few years. Yeah.
So Lynn, I mean, I really want to thank you and like applaud you for just being so courageous and so brave to share your personal story with us. Because I think, you know, there are a lot of people out there who might be feeling what you have felt, what you have felt. So like what you're saying, that sometimes, you know, you might feel like a fraud because, you know, like people see that, wow, you know, everything is so great, but you know that maybe things are not going so well inside. But at the same time, like that's that struggle. Like how do you deal with that? Like, are you going to continue to put up with like this front because that's the expectation of everybody around me, but at the same time, like, you know, things are really not going well. Like, so how do you deal with that struggle, and how did you eventually manage to come out of it or even walk out of that relationship?
Firstly, I felt it was difficult, and because I'm a business owner, I had to put up a front. But because I'm a business owner with my ex-husband, everyone in the company knew. 80 over people knows that something is going on, right? So with my closer staff, especially the management team, I shared with them, and then they knew. And it became quite good because then they rallied with me and they put through a lot of things when I wasn't able to be present. That helped. It also helped that most of my staff are women. Not that it's planned that way, but it just happened to be, maybe because it's a beauty industry. And some of them are also going through the similar process or had been through. So I guess there was a lot of empathy towards me. Yeah, that helped in terms of the business front. I had other support systems, which I'm very glad that I had. I had, of course, some close friends that came in, not to find out more of the juicy detail, but just to be there. That helped. I had EO, which is Entrepreneurs Organization, was where we met.
Yes.
That had helped me a lot, being in my forum for the last 10 years. That the bunch of guys had helped me through a lot of my difficult times, this being one of them. I've also picked up things that help me. I had to find things that make me happy. And one of the things I discovered was dance. I love to dance. I hate to run. I love to dance. So I had to try different things. I tried.
Yes.
So dance was the only thing I could stick to because I enjoyed it. And after 1-2 hours, I'm done and I worked out, I'm sweating and I felt good. I felt happy, and I felt, as I started to also watch what I ate, not to go on a crash diet, but I watched what I ate. I took 3 years, but I lost like 30 over kg in 3 years. But it was a
Amazing.
process, but that process was necessary. I had so much loose skin even. I had to cut it off because I really wanted to look nice in a swimsuit after I lost weight. I really wanted to find Lynn, and I also realized that it's a time for me to accept who I am because my previous husband didn't accept me for who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to find myself and be okay in my own skin.
Yep.
And that took a few years. I also went through going to meditation, the spiritual retreats, and I was vegetarian for 1.5 years just to go along with the whole program. And all these, I think, helped. Everything adds up to
Mm-hmm.
make me feel whole, to be able to forgive my ex, forgive myself. I mean, it was easy to just blame him, right, for the divorce, but the fact that we divorced takes both parties. And that also was a big aha moment to actually also take ownership of the failure of that marriage. It wasn't just him, it was us. And also to work out and maneuver how do we raise our 2 children, like this as a divorced couple. Where we can explain to the kids that, yeah, I tell my kids I used to love your daddy as my husband, but now I just love him as a friend. So they don't feel like it's their fault that this happened, because it really isn't their fault. They are totally innocent in this whole mess that their parents got into themselves into.
Wow, thanks for sharing that. I mean, I've gotten a lot of great pointers from there. So, I mean, just want to summarize for some of our listeners, or those who are like, watching this right now. So, I think, like what you have shared is really, with the business, like it's not easy because especially you are like business owner, co-business owner with your ex-husband, but just, like showing up and really sharing very authentically, like, and
Yeah.
that really got you the support from like your staff, and then they're very empathetic towards you, and at the same time like when times are really down, like they were really there for you and even like hold the business up for you. Yeah. And another thing is definitely to surround yourself with support systems. So I think what you have shared, definitely EO Entrepreneurs Organization, which I'm sure a lot of them are tuning in right now, like has been like a great place. Like that's where we met as well. Like and having like our forum, or like some would understand more like as mastermind group, like to really go through the entire journey with us. And I really like what you said, that you really needed at this point to make yourself happy, to look for something that will actually give you joy. Yeah. And you shared that for you is dance, and I definitely can attest to Lynn is a great dancer. I've attended a number of her Zumba classes, like
I
at
became
Ipoh.
so crazy about Zumba. I got myself certified, and though I don't teach professionally, it's just for the fun of it.
Yeah, but it's good fun, and I think one of the things that I can see when you're doing Zumba, it's like you can see that you really love it, like the passion, like I see the twinkle in your eyes, like it's like you said, like just finding something that you really enjoy, that you can just let go, that you can just be yourself. And it's amazing. Like I knew you lost a lot of
Yeah,
weight, right? I didn't realize you lost 30 kg in total. Like that's crazy.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I did over
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, but I think again,
It's so
yeah, you shared that there's not so much about losing the weight, but really, finding yourself again and loving yourself.
yeah, that's key. Whatever way it is for whoever it is. But Zumba, I recommend, especially for women. Why? It's not just a fitness exercise, but it makes you just get out of your shell because you don't have to become that demure. You just can be yourself. You can feel sexy. You can feel confident, and it's just by yourself or in a group class. It is safe and it's fun, and it helps. Whenever you start to see yourself in a different mode, you know, feeling confident about yourself and your body, the way it moves, it gets in. I think all this had helped me going through the golden space, and they call it the TGS, or the golden space, and going through all the whole program with the meditation and all also helped to calm my very intense personality down a bit and find that balance better. I yeah, I feel all this had helped me.
Yep.
Yeah, and without going through what I had to go through, I probably would not seek out to do these things.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was forced to like take care of myself, and
Yep.
I had to do it.
And
Yeah.
the other thing that I really like that you shared, right, it's that you were very honest with yourself as well, and you took accountability of the situation. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think, like you have shared that that's how it helps with the entire healing and forgiveness process. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like I think, a lot of times when people go through like tough relationships or even divorces, like they
Yeah.
hold on to this anger, and I think you have very wisely like realized or have pointed out that it takes two hands to clap. And I think like you have shared that once you also take accountability, that like yes, my ex-husband has done certain things, like, but maybe like I also have to take accountability for the situation as well. And I think that
Yeah.
is that's amazing, because I think not a lot of people can do that and own up to that.
Yeah, by doing the whole forgiveness exercise for the other party and for yourself, it's really for yourself. Without which it's just playing that whole hero, villain, and victim game over and over and over and over again, and then it's very tiring after a while. And I also thought to myself, I'm gonna be this bitter woman. Who's gonna want me? So like my marketing mind was not the thing. How am I gonna market myself, right? I was 30. I'm in the early 30s. I'm not gonna stay single for the rest of my life.
Yes,
And then you look on the other flip side, like a person who's selling a product, because I sell
yes.
products. So you have to position yourself
That's where
accurately.
Lynn, the entrepreneur, came in. Yes, tell us about that process.
How do you position yourself where you be attractive, right? For the market. That was another learning process altogether. Because you remember I was 19 when I was with my ex, right?
Yes,
19. Or how
yes,
many years was that? 20 years ago. Then
mm,
where got online dating?
yes, yes,
People meet each other somewhere, library or
yes,
club or colleagues, and then
yep,
hello, may I know your name, exchange number. That was the process I knew.
yep,
So when I became single again, at that point I
mm,
was like 33 or something. I was ready to go out to the world. I
yes,
lost weight, I
yes,
felt good, I
yep,
looked good, so I was like, okay, I want to get out there, right?
yeah,
I felt like I got no market value because no one asked me for my name or my number. I felt so like, oh, last time like people asked, and now like nobody interested. I got no value. Then one EO member was like in his 10 years younger than me,
mm, mm, mm,
and I think it was late 20s or what. He said,
yes, yes, yes,
what do you mean? Dating apps, or that's how you date, what? You use a
yes,
dating app.
yeah,
How else do you do it? Was how he told me. Then it was like aha moment.
mm,
Oh, okay. Because I was looking down on this whole thing. Like, oh, yeah, so shameful to go and do something like that.
yeah,
I should just 顺其自然, let the thing flow by
yes,
itself.
yes,
With the whole idea like fate or destiny, but it's
yes,
crap, right? Because the
yeah,
whole generation after me was like, what are you talking about? That's how we date, not how else you date. So that was like, okay, Lynn, you have to like let go of your judgment on certain
or
things and
your
just go with
previous
how
ideas
people,
about how it
yeah,
works.
my idea of how online dating is, and
Yes,
just go with that. So that I let it go and I
mm,
started to be active on that. I
yes,
haven't tried dating agencies. You must cover all angles.
yes,
So
yes,
I did all that. I
yeah,
went through the whole motion for a while.
yes,
Wasn't quite my cup of tea,
mm,
so I let it go. But I guess the point was to be willing to go out there and
yes,
try
yes, for sure.
and just try. So I tried it and I felt that it didn't really work for me.
Yeah,
Um, so the dating agency was slightly better, I
mm,
must say, because there was this they created this new category where you could date people of a certain level,
yes,
but it costs an arm and a leg. Okay, I started only on that, and after I had 2 dates, and after that, nothing really progressed. So I
mm,
kind of like, yeah, moved on from there.
yeah.
But having said that, I think that was slightly better than the apps, because the apps I couldn't really meet the right person.
Mm-hmm. Did you
So
manage to go on any dates through the dating apps?
apps, no.
No.
I met a few people. We went out, hello, hello, have
Yeah.
coffee.
Yes.
But we want different things.
Mm.
I'm not one for those friends with benefits kind of thing. Some people are, and that's fine, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So that's why after a while, when I tried, after maybe 6 months of
Mm.
doing it, I felt like wasn't really my cup of tea. But I
Yes.
tried. I think the
Yes.
whole point was to just get
Yep.
out there.
I
And
agree. Yep.
it helped to train me up to start to talk again, and
Yes.
talk about
Yes.
myself again, introduce all these things, because I was so rusty, right? I don't know how to date. I had to learn to date. And I guess it was a nice step to learn how to just date
Yeah, I
again.
agree.
Because
Yeah.
the last time I did it was so long ago.
Like when you were 19, yes.
19, and then when 30 plus running a business, you date again quite different when you're 19
Yes.
years old girl,
Yes,
So
definitely.
I guess it was a learning process I had to
But
go
I
through.
mean, I think you have put it, like very rightly. That's what we tell our singers as well. Because at the end of the day, sometimes they might or might not meet someone through us, but it's
Yeah.
really about putting yourself out there, like
Mm.
taking that first step. Because sometimes, like you mentioned, right, before you started doing that, like you are like, hey, why nobody talk to me and things like that, right?
Yes.
Because I tell them sometimes, I say, because people don't even know that you're single. Because they look at
True.
you, they might think that, oh, someone like her, probably is like attached or married, like because you don't give out the single vibes, right? So actually, we actually have a lot of singles that come to us like after they go through a few dates, then they are like, oh yeah, like because once you start taking that step, like you say, your whole
Yes.
aura, like everything kind of
Yes.
change, the way
Yeah,
you
I
talk to people,
agree.
it changes as well.
Yeah. So it
Yes,
was necessary again. Though I
yeah,
didn't
necessary
meet
step.
my second husband, I didn't have my second husband through those
Yes,
avenues, but it will help me to just get out there
yes,
and start to date again, the whole
yes,
process, which I stopped right after
yep,
I was with my ex.
yes.
Yeah, so there was a necessary
Yep.
step.
So
Yeah.
there's something that I knew you did, and I really wanted to talk to you about it because I think this would be very helpful, to like singers who are watching us right now. So
Mm.
I know you wrote down a list. Yeah, you want to share more about the list with us?
In 2012,
Yes.
so I was divorced and I was feeling a bit better about myself and
Yes.
everything. Don't
Yes.
feel like such a loser anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I did this list called like they call it a love list.
Mm.
I call it like the men for me.
Yes.
So I wrote it in 2012,
Yes.
the April 20. I have it on record because it was a Word document, so you
Yes.
can see where you created it, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah. So I wrote it then. I was quite specific. It's like one pager long, filled up.
Yeah.
So I had physical attributes. I mean, you have to be very specific what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote down, you must do it when you're in a good place, not when you're
Mm-hmm.
feeling sorry for yourself. A place when you're happy and good.
Positive vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, good vibes,
Yes.
positive.
Yeah.
You write down like do a wish list lah. Then
Yes.
don't scared. Just like go for it.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
went for it.
Yeah.
I wrote down things like I want him taller than me because my ex wasn't much taller than me. I want him to be tall. I
Mm-hmm.
put 1.78 to 1.85.
Wow.
So he has that nice broad shoulders, have bigger hands than me because I've got big hands for a woman. I'm a big girl, so I want my next guy to have bigger hands than me.
Okay.
I said a full head of hair. His hair cannot be wild color. I said I don't want a guy with mustache or beard. It's not my thing. Shaven,
Yeah.
beautiful eyes, charming smile,
Mm-hmm.
jawline. I would talk about his body.
Yeah.
Like I like butts, so I think he has a nice butt. Etc. etc. Okay,
Very
whatever you
specific. Yes, very
very
specific.
specific.
We can
Whatever you
see it.
fancy, I mean,
Yes,
just put
yes.
it in lah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have certain quirks that you like, I think you should put it in. Don't be shy about it. Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, there's nothing to lose. So I
Yeah.
said that, I want him dashing and charming. I
Mm-hmm.
want him to be confident himself. Doesn't have an ego problem. I want him to be a man who's run his own business, so he kind of understands me.
Mm-hmm.
I want a man who was a gentleman, brought up with good manners, respectful to women, is responsible.
Mm-hmm.
I put all these things, so like
Yes,
qualities, okay,
yes,
whatever
yes.
you fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I won't put things like he has to love my children as his own. That was very important for me.
Yeah.
I wanted a man who would appreciate me and my character, and who would find me beautiful and sexy and intelligent, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So I put down all these things. I put down he speaks good English, he speaks well. I would talk about values and how we respect each other's values and differences. I don't have to agree on everything. I was that specific. It's a whole page
Yes.
long,
So it's like one page of all the different qualities.
I just write everything down. I want him to be a filial son, but not a mommy's boy. Something like that. Like we can very specific. He is into fitness, but not necessarily we have to do the same thing together. So I was pretty specific, as much as it was important to me, and I put it all down. I wanted a man who would enjoy having sex with only me
Mm-hmm.
because of my experience before. So it
Yeah.
was important. So
Yes.
whatever's important to you,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to be shy about it, just write it all down. But that's
Yes.
what I did with no expectation. I wrote
Yes.
it down and I kind of left it there. You kind of like make a wish list to the universe, or to God or whoever you subscribe to. So I just put it out there. I never looked at it again.
So what actually inspired you to make this list? Like was it like a particular incident, something you read, or what was it?
I can't remember what made me write the first list,
Mm-hmm.
but subsequently I wrote a second list because I forgot that I wrote the first list. Can you believe it? Because you kind of wrote it, you kind of left it there, that spur of the
Okay.
moment. So
Okay.
one of my girlfriends, Cindy,
Uh-huh.
also from EO,
Yeah.
Indonesia, and
Yeah.
also we were together one time, and she told me about this list. So I was, okay, I should do it too. So I
Yeah.
did another list.
Yeah.
So I have actually got two lists.
Uh,
I forgotten about my first list,
okay.
but doesn't
So
matter.
when did you write your second list?
I wrote my second list in early 2015.
Early 2015. So it's about 3 years, like, or maybe 2.5 years later.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
correct.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, it's very funny because I met my husband officially. He is also an EO member. He came to Singapore to train my forum in August 2012.
Mm.
I met him.
Yeah.
I never knew him before I wrote the first list.
Mm.
And after I wrote my second list, we know each other as friends, right? In EO, and we started to date in the middle of 2015.
Yeah.
And after we started the date for a few months, then I don't know why I decided to go and find this list. Or I
Mm.
happened to go check this list and I looked at it and I realized that he actually is everything in my list. Both lists.
Wow.
Like,
What was your first list and second list the same, or like if not, what were some of the differences?
some of the differences I added were like I said, be a filial son, but not a mommy's boy,
Mm.
something like that.
Yeah.
I can't find my second list now, so I can't rattle it off, but just sort of a few things I
But more or
had.
less is the same lah. The main points were
Yeah, because my what I want is the same. Like I
yes,
want
yes,
him to love my two daughters like his own.
yes.
I wanted him to want to be in a committed relationship.
Mm.
I wanted this person who going to be me is going to be one who wants to commit and want to be in a committed relationship, not one just, yeah, I like you, but I don't want to commit to you kind.
Yes.
So I was also very specific. So some of them were similar and there were extra stuff.
Yeah.
Extra. And it was amazing because when I had to write my wedding vows, I ran back to the list
Mm.
and I looked at it and I read some of it out during my speech.
Mm.
How amazing the universe works. If you dare to ask for it, you can actually get what you want without because I didn't expect it to happen. It just happened, and yeah, this thing actually works.
Wow.
It's quite amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah. So that's why, like I really wanted you to share this, because I think like we have heard of like law of attraction, like really
Mm.
manifesting like your future, or like in your case like your future partner, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I read about things like that. I've seen like Oprah Winfrey shows and stuff
Mm-hmm.
after which, and it was something similar. It's
Mm-hmm.
about really putting it out there, but you
Yes.
don't go and every day like read it and keep changing it, and because then they can't give you what they don't know what you want if you keep changing and you're not sure what you want. I did it and I just left it and I just wait. I mean, whenever it comes, and it came when I least expected it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you have a list, like it gives a very clear idea of what you're looking for as well. Yeah, so I
Mm.
think that also helps like to close the doors that don't work, because I think sometimes when people are not very specific, like you have said, like people keep changing their mind, or they
Yeah.
don't know what they want, and so they probably like maybe they go out there and then they meet people and they just keep trying out different things, and maybe just being with people who are obviously not a good fit for them as well. But I think for you, you're very clear, like I'm sure like maybe there are more things that you have put in the list, but some of the things that I think were very clear, of course, in terms of physical attribute, you have a clear idea.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're very clear about like the very important values to you, like
Yeah.
filial piety, like really being close to your family, being able to look after your daughters like his own, someone who is gentlemanly, someone who is going to be loyal to you. Yeah, so I think you put down very clear things out there, and as a result, I think that would help as a goalpost as well when you are out there meeting new people.
Yeah, I guess it could be, but I never referred back to the list. That's the
Yes.
funny thing. But at least I was clear. I think that helped
Yes.
when you're really clear what you
Yes.
want.
Yeah.
And then you just wait for the miracle to happen, you know.
Yes, like all the clarity. Yes. So
Yeah.
I think like some people might also wonder, like, really moving from like a divorce and then moving into dating and then moving into like a new relationship, like what were some of the challenges, or were there any challenges that you actually encountered, be it from like within yourself or maybe even people around you?
I honestly can't think of any major challenge I had. I guess I was very fortunate. I was able to care for my daughters and support them financially. That
Mm-hmm.
helped. I can understand those who can't and is reliant on their ex-partner to provide, and that's very challenging. So I guess I'm a bit more fortunate in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they say you need a village to raise a child. So that's easy for me to say because at least I had the financial support. I had my mom and my sister if I had to travel for work or go travel, for EO or whatever. I had them to come and stay in my house and look after. I had helpers at home. All this helped to
Mm-hmm.
give me that little freedom to run my business and also to maybe go out and
Yes.
have dates.
So
But I do not bring anyone home
yes.
unless I know that this person is truly
Yes.
someone I want to be in a long-term relationship with. So Jody is the only guy that my girls ever met. I don't bring dates home. It's not.
Yeah,
I've
so
got
I think
daughters, so it's not safe.
that's the question that I have, because I think sometimes people might think like, when is the good time to actually introduce like a partner to your children, like what is the best way to go about it, or maybe even like when you meet someone and you know that, okay, this is going quite serious, like at what point do you bring up that you have kids, or like how do you share that, like yeah.
That's many good questions. I think what was good about me and Jody is that we've been friends. We
Mm-hmm.
knew each other through EO since 2012. We catch up here and there whenever we see each other, and we've always been very open and authentic.
Yeah.
So what you see is what you get. We didn't have to go through the whole phase of pretending to be a person which I want you to see me as versus
Yes.
you just see me as who I am.
Yeah.
Or the pain and the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. So we knew about that from each other. I guess from the training we had from EO, being
Yeah.
very open and authentic and being very genuine about
Yeah.
things, that had helped to cut off the fluff.
Yeah.
That helped. And because we know each other for a long time as friends, so it was not a difficult thing. When he introduced me to his parents, I subsequently also introduced him to mine and my daughters as
Yeah.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Make it very casual outside the house and all things like that. Helped.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Thanks
was
for
very
sharing. I think
blessed.
I still remember the first time I heard that you guys are dating. It's like, wow, it's like very big news, throughout the EO community. Like everybody was like super excited for both of you. Yeah.
I
I
remember.
still remember. I think like the first time I was asked about this was when I was in Manila. Yeah, and
Okay.
being EO Singapore member, right? Like, so obviously people are like, hey, so you know about this, like can you share more details? I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure. This is news to me as well. Yeah, let me go back and ask ask Lynn about it. Yeah, but I think like everybody is like really very very happy for both you guys, because I think we all know about you, both of you, and like I just think that you guys like are a great couple.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, like, having gone through all that you have gone through, right? Like, what does true love mean to you?
Wow. I was thinking about this question for a while. I don't seem to have a very direct answer
Mm-hmm.
what true love means. Um, I think love encompasses a lot of things. Love for my mom, my sisters, my kids, myself. Love for the environment and the people in the world, and love for this partner. And all this love is love, but yet it's treated quite differently. different intensity. So just talking about the love I have with my husband, it's a love which is very sacred to me because he's the only one whom I not only love, but we spend intimate moments with. So therefore, this relationship is particularly sacred to me. You know, um, I like the fact that this love that we have is one that is deeply connected with friendship and one that we could talk things through. Yes, of course, like any couples, we fight,
Yes.
you know, and that's normal. But it's how you deal with it after that and how you come back together after that. I think that's very key. And from very early on, when I started dating him, I realized that, hey, for the first time, we could actually be mature and sit down and we can talk. And I never had that before. It was more like after screaming and shouting, and then you just push it under the carpet and life goes on. And then you push it under the carpet and life goes on. To the point that the carpet cannot hide all the shit that you've been pushing under.
I like your
Then,
analogy.
you know, so when the shit that happens what to do, then you have to take it out and let's clean it up. Let's talk about it. And the good thing is that we could, and that friendship helped, I guess. Being able to do that has helped us. And I think they will continue to help us, you know, for the rest of our lives together.
Thank
So
you.
what true love is, I think, is being able to put your ego aside in what's right and what's wrong and truly just listen. And you could have still different points of view and that's fine, but at least be able to have enough space in your heart to accept each other for who we are. I think that's important.
Thank you. I think like you know, I've really seen like your journey. You know, I think we have known each other since like, yeah, maybe about 2012, 2013. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I really have seen your journey, and I think like from you I can also see that true love it's also when you find someone who make you the best version of yourself as well. Like you know,
Mm,
I can really see like the different sides of Lynn, you know, like how you have transformed like from like 2012, you know, like this year 2020, and I think really yeah, you and Jody make such a great match, and you know you guys really, you know, bring out the best in each other.
thank you.
And one last question,
Mm,
because you know we are having a lunch date. So let's say
mm,
if you're not having a lunch date with me, or you're not having a lunch date with Jody, so,
mm,
you know, like if you were to, I mean, like have a lunch date or a meal with someone, you know that you know of, or like you might not know personally, but someone you admire, like so that you know you can maybe learn from this person or just
mm.
inspire with this person. Who would you like to have a lunch date with and why?
So the person, I've got a handful of people in mind, but I guess I chose this lady because I think I'll regard her as one of my first mentors. This lady called Louise Hay.
Hmm.
She's an American lady. She just passed away in her mid 70s a few years ago. And her books and her CDs has got me through a big part of my life, I think. And I still have them, I still listen to them, and it's powerful, simple, but yet so powerful teachings and analogy from her, which have framed me a lot to who I am. So she's definitely someone I would love to have lunch with. She's
Wow.
one of my first mentors, I feel, in my life. Though it's through a CD and through books. Yeah,
Wow, that's amazing. I'm definitely going to check her out. Check her
yeah, yeah.
yeah, her CDs out after this. Thank you so much, Lynn. I mean,
Welcome.
I've been so focused talking to you. I've not been able to really look at our our
Any
Facebook
questions?
audience. So let me just try and see very quickly if we have some questions. Okay, let me see. Or maybe I can ask Jamie if he can help me. Yeah, I think you know we have just been like super focused. Have not been able to ask our audience to send in any questions that they might have. But anyway, if you are watching this right now and you know you have any questions for Lynn, you know, feel free to just you know post it. You know, if we are not able to answer them now, you know, like maybe Lynn, if you'll be so kind that you can just look at it later, like and see if
No
you
problem.
can answer some of these questions, because I think you know like we have covered so many things today, and a lot of it will be you know like I would say like very very helpful and useful for a lot of people out there, be it they are entrepreneurs or be it they are singles, or like they are people who looking for next phase in their love life, like maybe moving on from a difficult relationship or even from a past marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lynn. So I hope that the lunch that I have ordered for you have arrived. So yeah, like because even though we are having a virtual lunch, like usually, like I thought, okay, I want to buy my interviewee lunch. So
Yes, thank
today,
you.
the lunch that we have gotten is from Wakao, which is a local F&B. And I've heard so many good things about it.
Yes, I love it.
First
I
suggested.
love Wakao.
Yeah, I was so happy to hear that you love it. Yeah. So I shall not take up so much of your time, so I'll leave you to enjoy your lunch. And once again, thank you so much. And I'll catch up with you in person after the circuit breaker.
Yes, you too. Take
Yeah.
care.
Okay, thanks, Lynn. Okay, bye.